Well, good morning, folks. This is Lee, your virtual airline pilot. I'm back with you again. We're looking at the first of this week's scenery reviews. This is a little different. We're way out in the Pacific off the coast of Australia. This is Norfolk Island Airport, Yankee Sierra November Foxtrot. This is a payware scenery by Propairflight, released through Orbix, and you're looking at version 1 for the PC version of Flight Sim 2020. Download is 600 meg and it installs at 1.84 gigabytes. As I say, currently available through Orbix and nowhere else. Prices, it's €12.44, which equates to roughly $13.31 or £10.73 UK. Now, all of those prices are conversion estimates from the Australian dollar, and they do not include tax or VAT, which of course can vary depending on your country of purchase. Very important little airport this. They do have regular airline flights. We'll go into that in a minute with the history, but I've had a look over this. It's a really nice little scenery. Very, very nice indeed. So let's look at the list of features. Realistic PBR textures, high resolution textures, realistic night lighting, detailed models, animated people and ambient objects, detailed hangar model with interior, animated hangar door depending on the time, and we'll look at that during the review as we look over the airport. So as ever, let's look at some history. So Norfolk Island Airport, Yankee Sierra November Foxtrot, is the main and only airport on Norfolk Island, an external territory of Australia. The island is located in the Pacific Ocean, some 877 miles or 1412 kilometres due east of Australia's Evans Head, between New Zealand and New Caledonia. The airport is operated by the administration of Norfolk Island and can be found on the island's west side. Together with neighbouring Phillip Island and Nepean Island, the three islands collectively form the territory of Norfolk Island. In August 1942, the United States Army Air Force requested that the Australian government construct an aerodrome on Norfolk Island for use by its heavy bombers. It was built by the Civil Construction Corps, comprising volunteers from the New South Wales government departments. The Corps were assisted by island residents, with about 300 men employed in total. The first runway was completed in late 1942, with the Royal New Zealand Air Force plane landing there on Christmas Day. The second runway was opened in February 1943, and the Corps workers left the following month. The construction of the runways necessitated the destruction of Pine Avenue, a local landmark consisting of about 500 Norfolk Island pines, reaching up to 170 feet or 52 metres in height. As Norfolk Island did not have enough flat ground, in 1942 several bulldozers were used to knock the tops off several hills and fill in the valleys between them. Steel mesh was then used to make a solid surface. The airfield was never used as an operational base, but was, quote, available to the Allies for use as a staging depot, a refuge for aircraft in distress, and a possible base for anti-submarine patrols, unquote. A Royal New Zealand Air Force radar unit operated on the island as a navigation aid, and it became a stopover for aircraft travelling between Australia, New Caledonia, New Zealand and the Solomon Islands. The Royal New Zealand Air Force left the airfield in July 1946. The airport has a small passenger terminal building, inside of which are 4 check-in counters, security, immigration control, customs control and baggage reclaim. The airport is staffed by a single air traffic controller. There's also a small airport cafe which opens prior to departing flights. In addition, a small cargo terminal building sits next to the passenger terminal, as well as a small car park to be found at the terminal front entrance. Power for the airport is provided by on-site Norfolk Airport diesel power station. The airport can handle a variety of aircraft, from small general aviation aircraft right up to jetliners such as the narrow-bodied Airbus A320. The airport has scheduled airlines flights from Brisbane and Sydney operated by Qantas using the Airbus A320 aircraft. In addition to regular commercial flights, the airport is crucial for medical evacuations to Australia. So there you are, folks, some history for you. This airport is strategically important, not only militarily, but also as an emergency stopover point for light aircraft with long fuel tanks that are doing long runs out to the islands of the Pacific. And as you can see, the runway is long enough to support medium range jet aircraft. Quite an important little place, and visually, as you can see, it looks pretty stunning just looking at this shot here. And I can tell you right off the bat that Propairflight have made a nice job of this, and we'll start to look at it in detail in a moment. But first, let's look at runways. Okay, runways, and I've left it during the daytime just so you can get a clear picture of the runway layout here. Norfolk Island Airport operates two runways, runway 1129 and runway 0422. Runway 1129 is the longest, and we're looking down at it right here, measuring 6,398 feet or 1,950 meters. Runway 0422 is the shorter one, coming in at 4,708 feet or 1,435 meters, and that's this cross runway here. Both runways are constructed from asphalt. Now, the airport lies at an elevation of 371 feet or 113 meters and is in the GMT UTC plus 11 hours time zone. Now, Norfolk Island does indeed observe daylight saving time and is currently on the Norfolk Daylight Saving Time, or NFDT, and it's 10 hours ahead of the UK at the moment. So as usual, we lower the lighting so you can see the runway layout and lighting better. Runway 1129, and we're looking up the throat of runway 29 now, has medium intensity runway lighting, runway end identifier lighting system, and precision approach path indicators on both sides of the runway, and this runway is grooved. Approach options, you have RMP and VOR approach options only, no instrument landing system at this airport. And as you can see, been faithfully recreated. Runway end identifier lights, here's your intensity lighting on the runway, PAPIs on both sides, and there's even grooves on the runway which you can see at a closer look. We'll try and get a look at that later. And this is the same at both ends. If I quickly switch to runway 11, and here we are looking down the throat of runway 11, you can see exactly the same. PAPIs on both sides, intensity lighting is as per the other end, and you've got the end identifier lights. So here we are looking down the throat of runway 04. This is runway 0422. You can see the VOR station directly in front here. Runway 0422 has low intensity runway lighting, runway end identifier lighting system, precision approach path indicators, and they only exist on runway 04 on the right side, which you can see here. This runway also supports RMP and VOR approach options. So you can see this is pretty much as per the chart. There's not an awful lot of lighting, but it's as per the chart pretty much. Let's have a quick look at 22. So here we are looking down the throat of runway 22, the other end. As you can see, no precision approach path indicators and hardly any lighting. But this runway does support RNP and VOR approaches. Pretty sure really you'd only use this end during the daylight hours. So both runways have portable lighting for emergency use only, and you need 90 minutes prior notice required at the airport for them to set it up for you. And the airport has an NDB 260 and a VOR 112.4 on the field, as we've just seen. You can also see here we've got blue airfield edge lights. So yeah, landing on the main runway there, you turn off and taxi up here to where the terminal is. Here's the hangar, and the door is open at the moment. This closes at about 7:30. We will look at that shortly. So no jetways or anything else at this airport, so let's get back to the daytime and have a close look at the terminal area, parking area first. Okay, so let's start with a slow pan across the airside ramp. And here you can see, oh, it's beautiful. They've got ground markings there for the various types of aircraft. Two main stands here, of course. Beautiful weathering and texturing. A couple of animated people here. There's your two animated people, and in fact the guy on the right slightly animated as well. The only slight issue I can see here is they've got two heads and two legs, but that's just a glitch, nothing I'm particularly bothered about. And continuing the tour, we just do a little bit of slow look at the airside ramp a bit closer. Here you can see the clutter. Buildings are nicely modelled in texture. Poor guy comes right through the door there, but again, no complaints really, it's great. Modelling is really lovely, it's top notch. I do like the plant life as well. Fauna and everything is very important. There's the Norfolk sign, and we've got an engineer there as well, complete with hard hat. It's nice to see a change or difference from the default engineers walking around the ramp. Okay, so no internal development in the buildings, I'll say that right off the bat, but as you can see the outside looks really nice. Here you've got the cargo building just next door, and there's my helicopter over there. That, by the way, is officially where helicopters will land. But as you can see, you've got the same really wonderful attention to detail. You can see the seats there. I mean, just look at the way this is all modelled. Okay, the truck is a little bit blurred, but I'm not really complaining about that. The groundwork here, complete with oil stains, the mottled effect on the building. I mean, the weathering looks fantastic. There's a little bin. Everything right down to the lowest detail is really impressive. And here we'll take a little run across this airside part. As you can see, there's various bits and pieces of clutter. Salt there for when you get ice on the runway. There are lots of little details here that just really look great. Speed up a little bit. But yeah, just loads to see. I mean, look at the trees. I love the trees. Foliage really makes a big difference to an airport like this, and enhances the way it looks in its location. It's very nice. Very, very nicely done. So here's the aircraft hangar with the doors open, and you've got detail inside the hangar. Of course, you've got these aircraft. And again, the detail, so look at the lead-in ramp going into the hangar. It's just covered in oil stains. It's just really as it should be. Very, very nice indeed. Let's pop inside the hangar. Got a couple of diamonds there and a Cessna, and it all looks pretty beautiful. And here you can see out through the window to the other side of the hangar, which is excellent. As you can see, the hangar interior looks really good. It's just great. And you've got tool bits and pieces here. There's the door. Weathering's fantastic. There's the Cessna, and again you've got various bits and pieces sitting over on a trolley there. Very, very nice. And a quick view out of the hangar door from the inside. We'll look at the door closing later when we look at this place during the night time. So let's go across the building and have a look land side of the terminal area, and you can see the same attention to detail. Again, the car park, little car park there, nothing's been left to ground photogrammetry, as it were. It's all been 3D modelled. Vehicles look pretty good. Again, the foliage looks nice. Quick tour around the car park. All of the parking spaces properly delineated. And the cars are quite reasonable. They're not as sharp as they might be, but they're perfectly reasonable. So a little pan across landside here, you can see departures and arrival, baggage trolleys. Got an animated chap there, looks like police or security. And again, the same really nice detailed modelling on the buildings. It's very, very nice indeed. And right down to the airfield gate and the fence line that denotes the marcation between landside and airside. So here's the diesel power station that powers the airport, again faithfully recreated. I mean, the modelling's just lovely, look at it, it's brilliant. We've done a wonderful job with this. This is what provides all the power to the airport. I mean, everywhere you look, it just looks really nice. Everything down to and the foliage just makes it all sit nicely. It's very nice indeed. So there's my helicopter, and as I said, this is your official helicopter spot, and you can spawn there, as indeed that I have done. Very nice, really, really nice. Okay, let's run out to the runways, have a daytime look. So as you can see, properly delineated taxiways, no problems at all there. Runway markings look great in the daytime. This is 22, the runway that you'd probably never use except on a daylight visual approach in a small aircraft. Windsock to the right there. Looks great. You're going to need, if you're coming in at sunset, you're going to need your nose gear and taxiway lights on the aircraft to just help you find your way, but it should be perfectly okay. Another nice little building just off here, off the side of the runways. Really nice. This is the fire station. Couple of fire tenders there. Again, you can see really wonderful modelling right down to the air conditioning fans on that building. Part of the airside fence there. There's one of the a couple of the lights here, look, that you can see that show the side of the airfield. Another windsock, and there are your pappies. And another slow pan, just landside of the fire station. And the whole thing looks really, really nice. Very nicely done. So as you can see, runway markings and the airfield itself just looks great. Everything as per, you know, just as you'd need it. It looks really good. And you have various sort of off-airport buildings and bits and pieces that fill in. As we quickly tour down this side of one of the runways, here you can see various bits of clutter that have been added. I mean, I have to admit they've done a fantastic job here. The ambience and atmosphere at this airport is faithfully recreated with all the bits and pieces that they've added. And it looks like a really nice place. I really feel a flight coming on from Australia out to Norfolk Island. But very, very nicely done. Everything sort of adds to the ambience here. Very nice. And certainly a bit worth exploring the island as well. So here's the old radar station. I'm not sure if it's still working or still inhabited. There's a couple of cars there, which would suggest it's still in use. Very nice indeed. Modelling is just wonderful. Okay, we dropped it down to dusk. It's 5 PM local time and looking at the lighting. Check out the hangar while we're here. As you can see, the lighting on the hangar looks really, really nice. Very nice indeed. So I said we'd look at the door closing. The door closing does depend on the time of the day, so let's drop the time down just a little bit more and you can see the door actually working as well. And there you go, door is closed. And there we go, back at 5 PM and the door's open. So let's travel up the taxiway up to the parking area, the main terminal. As you can see, some really nice subtle lighting. You've got the blue edge lights and the big centerline light that will help you find your way, along with your nose gear light. And once again, some very, very nice subtle lighting on the buildings. Considering there's no internal development, they've done it looks like a really nice job with parallaxing. It's very nice subtle lighting. It's very, very nice. It's a bit up close, it looks a bit blurred. But no real complaints. It just does look nice. I like it. And again, going over to this building over here, over the other side, it all lit the same way. Very nice indeed. And here you can see the stanchions. Not that much in the way of Asobo globes. There are one or two around, but it all looks pretty much as it should be, with the lighting being provided by the correct lights. So let's have a look at landside. As you can see, there are some Asobo globes floating around here, which is a pity because they're not needed here because the stanchion lights work well. So probably somebody just needs to clean this scenery up a little bit and get rid of the globes that are not necessary. But as you can see, nice lighting. All looks really nice. In terms of atmosphere, it looks great. Going across to the diesel generating area here. There's even a little bit of light over here too, which is amazing. And as you can see, there are some off-airport buildings as well that have been enhanced a little bit and just add to the whole thing really. The track back across from landside to airside. I mean, that building looks lovely. Done a really nice job. Animated flags. I just need to get rid of the Asobo globes. They're not necessary because they've lit the place very, very nicely indeed. It's very impressive. So that was sunset. Let's go to night time and have a look. Okay, so 7:30 in the evening, and as you can see, night is upon us. Plenty of lighting here, so for you guys taxiing up, if you do make a night landing, I shouldn't have much of a problem here. Let's just back down a little bit and have a look at the sort of the taxiways, as it were, and see what sort of an issue you might have taxiing in. So you've got the yellow centre line and you've got the blue airfield edge lights, so your nose gear light should be fine to help you taxi in from whichever runway you land on. There to the left is the hangar and the door is closed, as you can see. So this all looks pretty dark, but everything that needs to be lit is lit. They've made a nice job. Here we are at the runway crossing point. So this is the radar dome that we looked at earlier during the day. Again, it all looks really nice. I'm not sure if this is where the tower controller sits as well. I can't seem to see a control tower type building anywhere. Here you've got an anemometer for measuring wind speed and a little parking hangar for your cars. There's a nice high level shot looking down towards the threshold of one of the main runways here. A lovely moon on the water over there, which looks really nice. And there's a high level shot showing you the parking area at night time with an overview of the taxiway going in. Very, very nice indeed. So let's bring up the dawn. Okay, 6:34 AM, and as you can see, the sun's just about to peak above the horizon. Still some lighting there, but yeah, it all looks very nice. And there, looking in the other direction, you can see the runway layout a little bit more now. Still some lighting on the main runway. Here's the fire station. It's very, very nice indeed. And just another shot there looking out towards the sea with the moon still visible above us. Okay, 8 AM, and time to give you my thoughts and conclusions. This is a wonderful scenery. A really nice little scenery. Price, do I think it's worth the price? These days, I've reviewed quite a lot of sceneries now, and you look at some of the prices, some of them are blatantly too much, some of them seem to be going up, which is to some extent expected in the times that we're facing at the moment. But this one I think is excellent. For €12, or just under €13, or just over a tenner UK, and around $13 US. It's very nice. It's not a huge scenery, obviously, but they have done quite a bit of work. The texturing is really wonderful. The weathering on the buildings, everything that's on this airport has been placed there. I really cannot find any real fault with it. The only two things that I would talk about are the sort of the placing of the Asobo globes. Maybe they don't know how to remove them, I don't know, but you've got Asobo globes really where you don't need them, because lighting is being provided by the light supports in the correct places, and that's excellent, by the way. And the only other small little niggle is you've got one of the animated ladies sitting there with two legs and two faces, but again, these are just small little nitpickings really. The scenery overall is pretty much faultless. It's a lovely little place, a beautiful location way out in the Pacific, so if any of you want to fly out here and try your hand at this, no ALS, RNP approaches only, I'm certainly going to have a go at it. It's a lovely little product. I really can't fault it. There's loads to explore, plus the rest of the island. I don't even know what's on the rest of the island. It's certainly worth a helicopter tour. And certainly a nice challenge, I think, to fly out here in a 320 or a 737 and see how you go. But the attention to detail is excellent, and the amount of work that's been put in to get it right, and that's important, I think, makes it worth the price. Very, very nice indeed. So there you go, folks. Norfolk Island Airport, Yankee Sierra November Foxtrot. It's a payware scenery by Propairflight, released through Orbix, and you're looking at version 1 for the PC version of Flight Sim 2020. No mention about Xbox or the marketplace. Download is 600 meg and it installs at 1.84 gigabytes. Available now from Orbix. Priced at €12.44, which equates to $13.31 US or £10.73 UK. And as I've said, all of those prices I've just given you are conversion estimates from the Australian dollar, and they do not include tax or VAT, which of course may vary depending on your country of purchase. It's a very important airport located in a very important place, and visually, in terms of a flight simulator product, it's great. Thoroughly recommend it. Thoroughly recommend it indeed. It's not a huge price, and you get so much here. An ambience and atmosphere visually, it's just wonderful. Very impressed with it, and no problem at all in recommending it highly. So thanks for joining me, folks. This is Lee, your virtual airline pilot. I'm wrapping up another review. We've got the next review to come this week, where we will be staying around the Australian continent. We'll be looking at Hamilton Island by Ausscene, a company I have had some dealings with. You may remember they produced Reef World, which I thought was really nice. I was supposed to be doing some testing for Ausscene on Hamilton, but in the end that never happened. But no big deal. I've got the scenery and we will be reviewing that this week. So folks, thanks for joining me. I hope this has helped you, that you've enjoyed this review, found something possibly a little different to what you might normally see. And yeah, thank you very much for joining me, and thanks for your support. And I will see you in the next video on Hamilton Island. So take care everybody, have a great week, and I'll see you later. Bye bye now.